This is Lagos State, and the nation have tried as much as possible to keep.
In the later part of the year 2000, a certain 22-year-old man vied to become the 12th Student Union President of the Lagos State University. His name is MUFUTAU Babatunde Salau. Popularly known on campus as Tunde Salau, born in Lagos in the year 1977, Tunde Salau was one of the many Lagos indigenes who had decided to make Lagos State University their new home for higher learning. Tunde Salau was killed on the 13th of February 2002 at the age of 24. Several eyewitnesses had stated that Tunde Salau had just stepped out of the examinations hall at the Faculty of Management Science, formerly known as FMS, where he had written his final examinations when he was hacked down. At the time, the Faculty of Management Science in the Lagos State University was the largest in terms of building size and also student populace. The faculty housed departments like business administration, accounting, insurance, banking and finance, industrial relations and personnel management, marketing, and public administration. With its large population, department, and size, the Faculty of Management Science of the Lagos State University unarguably became the epicenter in terms of cultism and political activism. As a student of the Department of Business Administration, by far one of the most populated in the Faculty of Management Science, Tunde Salau had ridden on the back of his prior political successes as a representative of his department and also faculty. He was a known figure in the university's Muslim community. This community itself played its own role in what led to the gruesome murder of Tunde Salau. At the time of his murder, Tunde Salau had completed his tenure as the Student Union President of the 2001-2002 session. Elections had been held and the new president had emerged in the person of Ayo Prayer Time. It was also known that Tunde Salau died on the arms of Ayo Prayer Time while in an ambulance on their way to the hospital. Ayo Prayer Time is also rumored to be Tunde Salau's cousin, who Tunde Salau had supported to win his election and take power in a bid to continue his legacies. Now, we know who Tunde Salau is. We know who his successor was in the person of Ayo Prayer Time, his cousin. But who was his predecessor? Knowing Tunde Salau's predecessor and unraveling his regime will help us establish why, who, and what led to the on-campus murder of one of Africa's most fearless student representatives in broad daylight and in the most gruesome manner. Before the regime of Tunde Salau was the regime of Owolabi Yusuf. Owolabi Yusuf was popularly known as Karl Marx on campus. It all started in the year 2000 when Tunde Salau's predecessor Owolabi Yusuf, aka Karl Marx, was in power. Karl Marx was a very popular figure. He was one of the most loved, politically perceptive, and oratory endowed individual to have ever become the Student Union President of the Lagos State University. Karl Marx was the 11th president, and at the time, he had inherited a campus highly tarnished for cult clashes and killings. At this time, Lagos State University had experienced very notorious cult figures like Sabata and Shabaranki. It was a twilight period as Lagos State University had earned itself a reputation as one of the most cult-infested campuses in Nigeria. Murders and attacks were almost a weekly occurrence. In a bid to stop the activities of cultists on campus, which at this time had reached a crescendo, Karl Marx initiated an anti-cult campaign, which will later snowball into a student movement. Now, what was Karl Marx's modus operandi for his anti-cult campaign? Karl Marx had employed the use of messaging, student orientation, anti-cult symposiums, and lectures to dissuade students from cult activities on campus. The underworld cult community perhaps had no qualms with Karl Marx's campaign, as it was merely what it was, a campaign. Karl Marx ran this anti-cult campaign as a part of his regime, and it was even rumored that he was getting support from the then Vice-Chancellor, Professor Fatiu Ademola Akisode. But one day, everything changed when this anti-cult campaign had now snowballed into a movement. The movement had targeted some known members of the Black Axe confraternity. They were being denied access to the campus, they were mobbed, humiliated, in some cases beaten and embarrassed on the Lagos-Badagry Expressway. It is worthy to note that Karl Marx's anti-cult campaign, now turned into a movement, did not lead to the death of any cultists. But he wasn't forgiving. Late in December 2000, at the Iyanoiba area of Ojo local government, now former president of the Lagos State University Student Union government, Comrade Owolabi Yusuf, aka Karl Marx, was fatally wounded near the university in an orchestrated attack suspected to have been carried out by the unidentified and alleged Black Axe members. The goal of this attack, from all indication, was to eliminate Karl Marx, but as fate would have it, he survived the attacks after months of medical interventions. This should have served as a warning and lesson to the next regime of student unionists, but did it? When Tunde Salau took on the saddle as the 12th student union president, almost immediately he had identified himself as a mosque boy. He was known to be a tabligh. These are Muslim brothers who wear above the ankle trousers, keep beards and wear skull caps. While being a tabligh, Tunde Salau had also associated heavily with the Lagos State University chapter of the Muslim Student Society of Nigeria, MSSN. This religious association became the fulcrum for Tunde Salau's version and continuation of the anti-cult movement that had been started by Karl Marx. In the beginning, Karl Marx's campaign and movement were constituted mainly by common students and unionists. But that of Tunde Salau was said to have been constituted majorly by his Muslim Brotherhood. The Tunde Salau anti-cult movement came with a stricter and more vicious drive. As it may have seemed, Karl Marx's prior campaign had paid off as cultists had steered clear from the campus. There was relative peace. This peace and tranquility on campus gave a false impression to the anti-cult campaigners that their methods were working. Some observers at the time had commented that this calm on campus had emboldened the movement to take one more step ahead, just where they will make one grave mistake. Sometime in the month of December 2001, two individuals named Osioma and Gasby were brutally murdered right in front of the Lagos State University main gate. Reports at the time of their killing, which happened just around the Franklas area of the main campus gates of the Lagos State University, stated that these two young men were members of the Black Axe confraternity. They were not members of the Lagos State University, but were from Delta State University. Some said they were on a mission to carry out an external hit on a rival cult member of Lagos State University when they were apprehended by Tunde Salau's anti-cult movement. Others say they were on the LASU campus to visit their friends. Whichever was true, the fact that Osioma and Gasby were Black Axe members was not in doubt. They were a perfect target for the anti-cult crusaders. In what appeared to be an escalation of the anti-cult war, and for the very first time, these men, Osioma and Gasby, who were rumored to live at the PPL area of Okukumaiko, were ambushed, apprehended, stripped naked, mobbed, clubbed, stoned, and then burnt alive right in front of the main gate of the Lagos State University. At this time, Lagos State University had a new vice-chancellor in the person of Professor Abisogunle. You would want to assume that the school authority under his watch would have taken steps to apprehend the actions of Tunde Salau and the student union movement. Whichever way you choose to look at it, this is a case of murder, and by law, no one should be allowed to take laws into their own hands. Tunde Salau's mob would have handed Osioma and Gasby to the law enforcement agencies and let the law take its course. While this anti-cult fight was a laudable one, taking the life of another person, irrespective of who they are, should have been condemned by the school authority. By killing Osioma and Gasby, the anti-cult unionists also have now been involved in perpetrating an act they were trying to stop. At this point, it is not rocket science to decrypt which group or entity was responsible for the hacking to death of Comrade Tunde Salau. Can we call Tunde Salau a brave man? I think the answer is a yes and a no. No, because going after a very vicious group like the Black Axe is more or less signing a death warrant. And this he should have known. Tunde Salau is just one man, but the Black Axe is a network of cultists across the country. The antecedents of Karl Marx were there to learn from. In a prior incident, Comrade Owolabi Yusuf, aka Karl Marx, had been allegedly attacked by the Black Axe confraternity late in December of the year 2000 for his anti-cult campaign and movement. Though he had survived the attack, being his predecessor, his experience was like a lesson he should have learned from. Karl Marx till this day cannot be said to have graduated from Lagos State University. He couldn't complete his final exams as he was bedridden for a long time, and the fear of another attack by the Black Axe kept him away from achieving his tertiary institution dreams at the Lagos State University. Only in 1999, the same Black Axe group had carried out a first-of-its-kind reprisal mass killing in Obafemi Awolowo University, in what is now dubbed the Ife Massacre. The Obafemi Awolowo University Massacre was a mass murder of students of Obafemi Awolowo University in Ile-Ife, Osun State, Nigeria, which happened on the 10th of July 1999. In this incident, 5 students of OAU were killed and 11 injured, while one of the main targets of the attack, Lanre Legacy, miraculously escaped death. His fate was better than that of Karl Marx of Lasso. This is the story of the brutal murder of a student union president, Comrade Tunde Salau. Subscribe to our channel for more interesting stories like this. Thank you.